you're making some really definitive statements about what you think investors should do with their stock portfolio. So let's try to do it. You think we've hit a capitulation low in the S&P on Monday at what, Monday. 42 and change?
And change, yeah, 42.22.
So no further big downdrafts, no Grantham 45% loss of your principal, or not even a bear market in the S&P.
I think it was a capitulation bottom, but if it falls below that, you'll have to have me on the show again, and I'll capitulate and say, I'm kind of concerned. That's your strategy.
So, and too many traders around right now, not enough investors. Investors should be using any weakness to add to positions.
Absolutely. Look, I think the overweights starting the new year and probably during most of the year should be energy and financials. You just had the head of Chevron on, and he basically said that they're being very disciplined about their capital spending, which means that they're cutting it back, and that's going to lead to higher prices, and that's great for the energy sector. And then, of course, financials, I think, do pretty well in an environment where the economy is still doing well, rates are going up. But the important thing is loan demand is coming back, and M&A activity is very strong. Technology was, benefit of hindsight, clearly overvalued. Now it's less overvalued. As a matter of fact, I think there's opportunities in technology now. So I think that's where the investor comes and buys. But across the board, my thinking is that we're going to probably remain kind of volatile here for a while. Maybe January got rid of the volatility for us for a while. But by the second half of the year, I think the market will be following earnings higher.
The idea of buying the dips, is it dependent on a soft landing? We just were having quite a discussion about whether the Fed can really orchestrate that. For some reason, we think that, I don't know, it seems like a very difficult thing to do when you've been easy for this long. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means we'd have really skillful central bankers. Is it possible?
Well, I agree with Steve Leisman's notion that we could very well have a soft landing here. The economy was very strong in the fourth quarter. There was a lot of inventory building. Consumer is slowing down. I think consumers are starting to resist high prices, and that's actually a good way to bring inflation down. I think the strong dollar that Rick mentioned, I think that's another very powerful disinflationary force here. So I think we're actually seeing a peaking in the inflation rate now, and I'm not going to tell you that it's going to come straight down in the next few months, but by the second half of the year, I think it is going to come down. And a big contributor to inflation has been consumer durable goods, particularly both new and used cars. And I think you're seeing resistance to those prices. And I think you're going to find that some of these companies are going to find the semiconductors. I am concerned about Tesla saying that maybe they're still having supply disruptions. But Japanese car production soared in November, suggesting that they are getting the semiconductors to finish off the cars. So I think that's going to be important. The offset is going to be rent inflation is going to be a problem. So I don't think we're going to see 2% inflation anytime this year or next year. I think it stays around. It comes down maybe to 3%.